Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and no one on Earth remembers you ever existed. Your photos are gone. Your name isn't in any records. Not even your own mother recognizes your face. Most people laugh and say impossible, except it already happened to one man in the government made the world. Forgot his name. June 15th, 1953, New York City. Rudolph Fentz, 29 years old. Loving husband, father of a little boy, kisses his wife goodnight and says, "I'm just walking to the corner store
Cigarettes.
Be back in 10 minutes. He steps out in his normal 1950s suit and vanishes forever. 1 month later, July 1953, Times Square. 11:30 at night. Hundreds of people are walking, taxis honking, neon lights flashing. Suddenly, right in the middle of the street, a man appears out of thin air. He's wearing a top hat, a long Victorian coat with tails, shiny boots, mutton chop sideburns, like he walked straight out of the 100s. He looks around in absolute terror. Car swerve, brakes scream. A taxi slams into him. He dies instantly. Police arrive and search the body. What they find freezes every officer. Coins in his pocket dated
76.
1810-78, 1880, perfect condition. Never circulated in the 1950s. A receipt for the care of a horse and the washing of a carriage, 70 cents. Paid to a stable on Lexington Avenue that hadn't existed since 1890. A handwritten letter postmarked,
76.
addressed to Mr. Rudolph Fentz, 5th Avenue. A copper business card that says, Rudolph Fentz, with the exact same address. The captain thinks it's the weirdest prank in history. Until they actually go to that address. The building is still there. They dig up an old 1939 phone directory and find Rudolph Fentz Jr. living nearby. They knock on the door. A 60-year-old man answers. They show him the photo of the dead man in the 1800s clothes. The old man turns white, starts shaking, and whispers, "That's my father. He disappeared in 1953 when I was 4 years old, walking to buy cigarettes." Do the math. The man who died in 1953 was wearing clothes from
76.
looked exactly 29 years old and was identified as someone who disappeared in 1953. Somehow he aged 0 days, but arrived 77 years too late. The case was handed to a special detective unit. Within 48 hours, every file was classified. The coroner's report vanished. The detective who investigated took early retirement, moved to a cabin in the woods, and refused to speak to anyone until he died in 1981. Even the newspaper clippings from 1953 disappeared from library archives. Like someone went around erasing them one by one. Some say Rudolph Fentz stepped into a rip in time in 1953 and walked out in the wrong century. Others whisper the government found something, far worse proof that time travel is real, and they've been hiding it ever since. The craziest part? In 2000, a researcher found one single, surviving document in a forgotten police box. It ends with a handwritten note from the captain. If this ever gets out, reality as we know it is finished. So tell me right now in the comments. Type 1 if you believe he accidentally time traveled. Type 2 if you think the government opened a door and silenced everyone who saw it. And smash that subscribe button with notifications on, because tomorrow at the same time, I'm dropping the scariest one yet. The NASA photo that shows a human face on the moon. That was never supposed to be there. Trust me, after that video, you will never look at the sky the same way again. See you tomorrow. If they let this one stay up,